What's going on, all you arcade enthusiasts? It's been 2 months. 2 busy months for me. I've gotten some complaints from you guys, like, well, when am I going to get my next video up and whatever. I'm sorry. But alright, I made a list of all the places. Actually, my wife made a list of all the places we were at, and it's been 2 months of me just being busy, doing all kinds of stuff. I'm going to show you guys, okay, where I was at. I was working on, me and my wife were working on a bunch of games. We fixed over 300 games in a month and a half time, okay? But I'm not allowed to show you the end result. I'm not allowed to show you the arcade room because the guy that I fixed all these games for wants to be kind of secretive. And he doesn't want anything seen until it's completely done, which is looking badass, by the way. Anyways, we went from home to Southern Fried Game Expo in Georgia. And then from Georgia, we went to Tennessee. And me and my wife worked in Tennessee for a month and a half. And then we went to Replay FX, which is close to our house, sort of, about 2 hours away. And then from Replay FX, we went to Hagerstown, Maryland, where I bought a broken Space Wars, which I now have working. But, oh yeah, and we went to TNT Amusements again. I bought a golden axe, like in a junk zookeeper cabinet. But, yeah, we've been all over the place. And so, anyways, I kind of realized I didn't have a video explaining what the hell was going on. So, alright, the videos you're going to see is random things where I randomly pick up the camera and I said, hey, look what I'm doing right now. And that's what you're going to see. I'm going to show you all that random stuff. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Okay, guys, I'm here at the new shop. Working on a buddy of mine's games. So today we pulled out a whole bunch of Gottliebs, and so I put new power supplies in these, rebuilt the monitors. Me and my wife did. This one, we're missing a board. We're gonna have to get back with that. I need to get some ROMs burned for this guy. I need a RAM chip for this guy. New York we got running. Extermination was just one of the ones he wanted to get going. I got Three Stooges working, but I need to burn some ROMs for the sound card. And we have a Cubert's Cubes acting up right now. So I'm going to test and see if these ROMs are good. Who knows what's going on. I put a new power supply in, and the arcade shop's power supply adapter. I like to separate them because it looks nicer that way. But yeah, but it doesn't always work with all games, that adapter. So for example, with Three Stooges, I went ahead and recapped everything, and I put two Atari Big Blue capacitors and bridged them together to get the same capacitance as the big giant Gottlieb capacitor. And so I gotta get this sound working. This game works, but like, where it says, hey, what are you doing? Or, what's it say? It does say, hey, like, hey, but like the voices, some of the voices aren't right, so I gotta figure out what's going on. But that's where we're at so far. I'll give you an update and see what else is going on.
So, Jason, what are you doing?
Reflowing the solder joints on this Mad Planets. A lot of people don't bother to do this, but it's important. This one was really bad. This was obvious. There was no green on the screen. And every time, if you open or close the door, like the colors would come back. So, so I think it was time to redo the solder joints.
Most likely.
We have done a lot of games now. A lot of games. We have emptied and filled this room. I would say 4 truckloads.
Maybe.
4 times 5, maybe something like that. I don't know, not bad. A lot of it was wasted time. I wish we could have had more dedicated time to do it, but
yeah.
whatever.
Running into brick walls when you can't find the parts that you need. You know what you need, but you can't find it.
If all the parts were handy, on hand at any time, when there's a lot of parts here still.
Yeah.
If every single part was here, it would always be wonderful.
When things come together, it's really nice. So that board that he's working on now is going to go there to get this wonderful game running. Mad Plains is awesome.
Yeah. Okay, we got 2 more Williams games ready to go out. Here's the few last Gottliebs ready to go out. Oh, another Gottlieb there. I still gotta fix a Stargate, and from here on down is all done Williams. Yeah. Oh, there's a. Oh no, I didn't get to the Mystic Marathon yet. But yeah, Defender, Bubbles, Moon Patrol. We already got rid of like 4 of them. Other than that, I'm still waiting on parts for 3 Stooges. You know, some are in pretty sad shape. This is like crawl number 3. This is the 3rd crawl, Kelly. It's like another Mad Planets. Oh, Paperboy. I got that working. That was nice. I actually enjoyed playing some Paperboy a little bit there. But yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm actually just doing a lot of work, and see, this is still sitting here. I'm doing a lot of work, and I really don't have much time to do a video, and I feel kind of dumb when if anyone else is in here, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like an idiot, the guy walking around with the camera. But yeah, that's about it for now. Figured I'd show you guys this. Every drawer is completely filled with components. Going down this aisle, and there's more, and there's more, and there's more. Amazing. Something that any technician would love to see is a million parts. Amazing. All kinds of stuff that's, you know, certain things that you think are rare and really hard to find, I'm pulling up and finding drawers of it. So, for example, 2111. These were only on like early Atari pins and like Lunar Lander. There's a million of them. But really cool. Oscillators, drawers and drawers of them, crystals. Pretty cool. I figured I'd show you guys how to put a CR2032 battery on a Williams game. There's these 2 holes that are perfect for it. Okay, I get this guy, put the positive end through this hole right here, negative end through this hole. I'm gonna flip it. And I'm going to solder it. that. And then this right here, I will scratch it with something, whatever is handy. Okay. And you're done. Done. Okay, I have a Mystic Marathon conversion here. And it looks like it's an old Stargate cabinet. And the front says dead battery, coin reject. So, see, what I'm doing is I'm going through, I'm rebuilding every monitor, whether it needs it or not, especially if it's been old. And I'm replacing the power supply, and of course, you know, adjusting the monitor and doing little things like making it ready for an arcade. So, stick with me here, and I'm just going to try to do this whole one on camera and show you what I'm doing. Okay, it looks like we have 4900 here, and it's already been capped. So if the picture is perfect, then I'm going to let it be. Let me open up the bottom. Now, Mystic, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure Mystic Marathon, Joust 2, and Turkey Shoot all share the same board set. I don't know if there's any slight differences or anything, but you know. So let me get this guy out and let's replace the battery. You know what? Let's plug it in first. Okay, I just plugged it in. Take these stupid stickers off. I hate when people put stickers on bezels and marquees and whatever. Initial test indicate all systems go. Okay, that's definitely a battery. Let me hit go past this. Looks like it works. The monitor doesn't look bad either. Okay, so it looks like I may just be putting a brand new power supply. And, see, I'm not familiar with Mystic Marathon. Is that supposed to keep scrolling like that? I'll look it up just to make sure. Probably fine. But I'll look it up to make sure that's correct. I never really pay attention. I've played it a couple times, but I never really pay attention to what Mystic Marathon is supposed to look like. I'm going to play a little bit. It's not crediting up. That must be what the coin reject thing meant. So it looks like we're going to have more to look into besides... I mean, I can tell the switch is working because I can hear the sounds. But will not take... Oh, it now took a credit. Bear with me, I'm not really good at this. Oh, marathon. It's obviously a marathon. I knew that. There's a diamond or something. Ah. Oh, you can swim. That's interesting. I'm doing terrible here. Everybody's way ahead of me. And I lost. Something's funny with the coins. But I guess that's Mrs. Marathon. Let's tear into this thing. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in this Williams power supply conversion kit. And this is really basic. You literally just unplug the Williams power supply, plug it into here, and then you mount the this to your power supply. And of course you got to wire up your AC, and that's it. So let me guys show you. It's kind of an odd place where this power supply is, where somebody decided to screw this power supply. It's kind of odd to me. I'll show you. Somebody put the power supply right inside the coin door. Is that supposed to be there? That don't look right. I don't like it there. I could just imagine a coin like falling and hitting something, you know. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull out. I'm gonna turn this machine off, and I'm going to. I got the camera right in my face. I'm gonna turn the machine off. I'm gonna pull out this connector right here. And that's going to go into midway, or to the Williams power supply adapter. I really don't like the way this adapter is. I don't like how it barely screws into the terminals. So in the past, I've been known to make wires coming off of this going into it. It looks really clean this way though, don't it? It's just boom, plug and play the harness. Okay, now this is the power. It was in the front for some crazy reason. I'm putting it back here. Now on Williams, there's a little key right here, and make sure the key goes just like this. Now sometimes there is no key, so pay attention to how you pulled it out of the original power supply to see where the missing pin is. But I always plug it in first. And by the way, I already had this on the bench, and I had 5 volts, so we're gonna have to turn it up when I get it going. I'd rather turn the power supply up while it's connected than turn it down while it's connected. But anyway, so I plug this in now, and I can Now that it's already plugged in, I can find a good spot without, you know, without running out of wire. Let me get the bottom screw in. I always like to keep the power supply somewhere where you can access it again in the future to adjust voltages or whatever. Looking good to me. Now I gotta splice this in to AC, and this is my field ground wire. You seen me connected earlier. Now, do you have to have field ground? Technically, no, but you might as well. I mean, it should be there. I mean, will it work without it? Yes, but connect it. Just connect it. So let me connect the AC and the field ground up, and we'll be good to go. Okay, so now we have it all connected. I'm going to flip the power on. Kelly, can you hold this meter? And I'm going to check across the decoupling capacitor on this side. And we are at 5 volts. I'm going to check a decoupling cap over here. And we are at 4.8 volts. So hold on, let me connect this here. I'm going to crank it up just a hair. 4.84. So might as well say 4.9. 5 point, yeah, I can bring it up a little bit more. Why not? I mean, this is fine. 4.9 over here and 5.1. That'll work. You know what? I'll take it down a hair. You can run it a little low. Let's say 5 even. I'll leave it where it was. I kind of like that. Okay. Now, the reason why it's still important, it's important to test all over your board, especially the Williams boards, because you might have a bad connection somewhere, and you might get, you know, 3 volts over here, 5 volts over here, and if you checked over here, you're like, well, I don't know why the game's not working. You know what I mean? So it's kind of important to check beyond connections, where there's other connections and things like that. But okay, hopefully, you know what? Let me turn this thing off for a second, and I want to check the front, and I want to see if it's because I just put the new battery in. Let's see if it held its high scores. Well, Kelly just told me that she already rebuilt this monitor, so that's good. It looked like it was rebuilt. So here's the game. I'm gonna hit credit. It's crediting up. I thought it had given me some issues before. But that's that. I'm gonna play a video on YouTube to see what Mystic Marathon looks like. Cause I don't know if that's normal with the marathon thing just kind of going down. But that's about it. I'll keep you guys informed on some other stuff we're doing. Well, I have been installing a whole bunch of Gottlieb power supply kits, and I have probably used, I don't know, maybe 30 or so, and I'm out of the kits. So let me show you guys what I do when I don't have the kit. First off, I get the original power supply, and I remove both of these transistors, the 3055 and another one. Both removed. Okay, now I'm going to desolder these guys. one. There's the heatsink and all. Here's the other one. Just like that. Now I don't want to lose the heatsink, so I always put the screws back in so the heatsink still stays mounted. Okay, so now I put a screw in each side here. This screw goes to nothing. This screw goes here, but you're not going to short anything out. Okay, so I'm going to grab my wire for 5 volt, and this right here is your 5 volt right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and solder it right across here. And the camera is basically right in my way. Okay, so there's my 5 volt wire right there, and now I'm going to solder in a ground wire right here. Okay, so I soldered my ground right here, soldered my 5 volt right here. Your job should look like that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my 7812, which is this guy right here, and I'm going to remove it. Now if you want, you can just clip the very edge pin like this, but I'm going to remove the entire thing. Now, right here on the board, I'm going to scratch this area out a little bit. I'm going to tin it. And right there is where I'm going to solder my 12 volt line. So, let me get the camera out of my face again. Okay, so now I have my 12 volt line hooked up. What I'm going to do now is bridge the 12 volts into the old 30 volt line. And to do that, I'm going to scratch the little area off right here. Solder it just like that, except for burning the wires, and hook it right to your power supply. Okay, so it's back in the machine. Looks semi-original, but you see we're missing both transistors, and I only soldered in the 2 voltages that would commonly go bad. There's one more voltage, but this, alright, let's see, this power supply can put out -5 volts, okay? Now this puts out -12 volts, okay? But it's so rare for that 12 volt to go out, I just replaced the 7912 instead, just to make sure it's fresh and new. But I kind of like this method because, alright, first off, this bypasses your 30 volts going to the coil and now makes it 12 volts. If you don't want to do that, don't remove that transistor and don't bridge the 12 volts over. But yeah, so I always like to put the power supplies right here because it's kind of tough with Gottlieb's because the door sometimes doesn't close right. But my camera is telling me I'm out of space, so let me show you how it's working. That's that. So now I got, just used the last one on a Mad Planets. My wife is reflowing the interconnect board there. But yeah. You know what, I wanted to show you guys the knocker running on 12 volts. I personally don't like it. I actually have my knocker running off 24 volts. But this knocker is designed for 30 volts, and I'm running it off 12. So let's hear it. You hear it? I'm gonna do it again. Okay, we got 2 more Williams games ready to go out. Here's the few last Gottliebs ready to go out. Oh, another Gottlieb there. I still gotta fix a Stargate, and from here on down is all done Williams. Yeah. Oh, there's a. Oh no, I didn't get to the Mystic Marathon yet. But yeah, Defender, Bubbles, Moon Patrol. We already got rid of like 4 of them. Other than that, I'm still waiting on parts for Three Stooges. You know, some are in pretty sad shape. This is like crawl number 3. This is the 3rd crawl, Kelly. It's like another Mad Planets. Oh, Paperboy. I got that working. That was nice. I actually enjoyed playing some Paperboy a little bit there. But yeah, I don't know what to say. I'm actually just doing a lot of work, and see, this is still sitting here. I'm doing a lot of work, and I really don't have much time to do a video, and I feel kind of dumb when if anyone else is in here, because it's like, I don't know, I feel like an idiot, the guy walking around with the camera. But yeah, that's about it for now. Just thought I'd show you guys something kind of cool. This is an early, or the first, Electro Home Geo7 chassis. Believe it or not, Electro Home used to make television sets back in the day, and when the arcade industry was asking for color monitors, they actually got their old, right off the assembly line, their old television chassis, and they clipped off all the components. All the leads to all those parts are still on there. You know what I mean? But they removed the tuner and etc. to make it work. Now it's actually electronically identical to, let's say, this Geo7 chassis. See that? But it's just, this was made afterwards, was, you know, so they didn't have to remove all the tuner stuff. Just thought that was kind of cool. Well, it's been a while since I made some video here, but let me show you what I'm working on now. Got a Mr. Viking with some board problems. Just finished a dedicated Bank Panic, and these out here are games that are done. The Regulus, oh, it's a shame because it's a oh my god, I can't think of it. Space Fury cabinet, which was then converted to TAC-SCAN at some point, which is then converted to Regulus. Galaga 3, Gapless. These are all games that are done. Galaga 88, a regular Galaga. Yep. So now we're going to start working on this Buck Rogers. Actually, can't wait to play that. Oh no. Oh no. What were they doing? There's a PC inside this Robbie Roto. We have a couple Robbie Roto board sets here, so I'm trying to get that going. It's sad. It's sad how they place the battery in just the wrong spot on those Robbie Roto ROM boards. I'm working on this Geo7 here, and had a line going across the screen. So I thought, okay, horizontal output transistor, the hot, you know what I mean? This guy right here. But tested it, and it tested good. But I happened to notice this. Yep, Houston, we have a problem. So I'm gonna put one of these suckers in. Well, I went with a brand new flyback, a new horizontal width coil, and looking in the mirror, and we have a picture. So let me fine tune this a little bit. And Kelly's wrapping up Mystic Marathon. Every arcade machine that leaves this building is supposed to have LEDs up top. So LEDs in the coin door, LEDs in the marquee. So There's another project. I'm still gonna have to put a battery, as you can see. It did not hold its. Let me get into this. Hold on. One more down the bottom. Yeah. Ah, somebody drove a screw. Or is that stuck? Well, it's stuck. Somebody put a battery here, but it's not holding its own, or the diode might be bad. We'll have to find out. But soon I'll have this going and it'll be booting like it's supposed to and so forth. I just noticed something else. That's gotta go. Wow. They didn't even bother like mounting it straight. Yeah, so we're definitely gonna put a new power supply in this one also. All right. Yeah, somebody took the time to put that in, but they didn't want to bother swapping that thing out.
What are you doing?
I am removing the whole bank of RAM on this iRobot board, the video RAM. We had some lines on the screen, and I piggybacked some chips and I got the lines to go away, but we have all brand new chips, so let's just stick all brand new chips on. I also know there's some math box problems with this board also, and this is the easiest part to start with. iRobot, you can kind of tell when the video RAM goes bad, because you get these like dotted lines across the screen. But yeah, I figured I'd change them all in one shot. I don't know what's going on with the math box, but something's funny is going on. How's your game coming?
It's getting there.
Cool.
Putting a new monitor and eyes. The old one had Pac-Man burn.
So now I gotta fix one more eyes, and then we'll have all the eyes working. The basket case.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I might just try to skip over it. And he'll make me fix it anyways, guaranteed. Alright.
Now you gotta start.
You know what, since you got the camera on, I'm gonna pull a chip out. Some people like get all worried and stressed out when they pull a chip. Let me show you how I do it. First off, you gotta make sure you actually totally, truly desolder it. You know what I mean? But I grab it like this, a little twist, then a rock, and I'm out. A little twist, little busted chip, little twist, little rock, and I'm out. And never, never, never force it. If it doesn't go, you didn't desolder it right. Twist, rock, out. Twist, rock, out. And one more. See, these are 4264 RAM chips. And I'm going to replace them all with 4164s. Now, 4264 and 4164s are not the same chip, but I'm going to put these in because there's a special feature that is not used on this 4264. So in other words, in this situation, the 4164 will be electrically identical to what this board needs. I think. I'm 99.9% sure. So let me stick some sockets in here and let's see if we can get rid of those lines on the screen. Okay, I just soldered all these RAM chips in. Now I didn't have the right size sockets, so as you see, I chopped a bunch of sockets up so I could fit them in. But let's test it out and see what happens here. Well, I fixed it! Turns out there really was no math box problem. It was just those edge connectors that are on iRobot. See? No lines. Looks beautiful. So now it's running 4164. So
For future note, at least I know I can replace a 4164 in place of a 4264 on an iRobot. Figured I'd show you guys what I'm up to right now. These are gonna go in for repair here pretty soon. And right now we're on burger time mode. Getting these forward working. I just put a new power supply in that one. I rebuilt the monitor. Just reseat some chips on that. Nothing big. Kelly rebuilt the monitor in this one. She got this one going. So that's where we're at right now. Okay, I want to show you guys my absolute favorite Universal magical spot. The really cool thing about this game is all the tits. Really cool game. There's 2 different revisions, like one's like actually showed nipples, and then there's these. Really cool. I think it's the coolest artwork on any game. So maybe we'll get this working here soon, and I'll show you guys what the gameplay looks like. Let me show you guys something cool here. Shark Attack by Game Plan, GPI. Now, they also gave the rights to a company called Dale, which made exactly the same game. This is a dedicated cabinet. Right here, it's not a Stern cabinet or nothing like that. But it's a dedicated cabinet that also played Shark Attack. The cool thing about Shark Attack is, I believe this is the wrong tape player, but it had a tape player inside it, and instead there was basically no sound hardware except for the hardware that controlled the tape player, which had 4 channels, which played sounds like people screaming. It played like a heartbeat sound, and it played like background chatter, like people talking, like, "Hey, there's a shark there," you know. Very cool, very cool. These are both missing the tape player, so we're gonna have to go online and hopefully find these files to make the sounds work. But very unique game. I did see Kelly is rebuilding the monitor over here, and I threw in a HAP controls monitor over here. And I'm going to plug this thing in and show you what the game looks like, but I cannot show you what the game sounds like until we get the rest of the stuff we need. By the way, right here is the bezel, and this is the game. Every time you touch the shark, or the shark touches people, it makes like a screaming sound and whatever. But very, very cool game. Wish I had one. Very, very unique. There's 4 speakers up top on both cabinets. 4 speakers. I don't know if you can see. I'm gonna go around this side. Oh, yeah, you can kind of see all 4 speakers there. I love Game Plan. I love Game Plan cabinets. I hope to someday have one myself. I wouldn't mind having every Game Plan. But very cool game. So we have 2 Shark Attacks, both in their dedicated cabinets. This, in my opinion, would be the most desirable one because this is the manufacturer of the game, is also the manufacturer of the cabinet. But they did license Dale, a company called Dale, to put their game in their cabinet. And so these are both dedicated cabinets. That looks a lot like a Stern or a Thief, doesn't it? But it's not. Very cool. Yeah, Kelly rebuilt the monitor on this. Now the reason this looks a little dimmer is because it's behind tinted glass. But yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, guys, we were okay. I did a whole bunch of Sterns, and here's a couple of the. Okay, from here on down are all the Troublemaker or incomplete games. Still have that Three Stooges here. I have an Orator came in the mail, and I replaced it. Still doesn't work. I tested all the EEPROMs, In other words, every single socketed chip on this board, which is this guy, this, and this, are verified working. So looks like I'm going to have to actually dig out the logic probe and actually figure out what's really wrong. The music plays great, but when it says, like, you know, yuck, 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 or whatever, it goes so I'm gonna have to look into it. But anyways, so now we're starting on the titles. Got some cool titles here. Got a space dungeon with a dead power supply. Can't wait to play that. There's a Wild Western, I believe it's called. Jeez, I forget. I'll work with the marquee. But Tin Star, Zookeeper, Frontline. So in other words, once I clear out, I got a few sterns left. Once I clear out these sterns, we're going to start working on rows and rows and rows of titles. So I've had a lot of fun here so far. We're at the halfway mark. This is Friday, so after today it'll be 2 weeks I've been here, and I've done, geez, many games. So what I was doing before I picked up the camera is I was fabbing up an adapter here for a Taito adapter. Now, some people would have plugged this right in, but the pins are different on this power supply. The 5-volt doesn't line up with the ground, and the ground doesn't line up and whatever, so I had to make a little jumper harness in the middle just so I could make this adapter work. But alright guys, okay, we pretty much did all the Taitos, and now we have the first row of Centuries coming in. And I just rebuilt the monitor and replaced the power supply on the Pit. The Pit is my absolute favorite Century. Really cool game. Check it out if you haven't seen it. So now working on D-Day. I have a problem with the joystick. This button right here does not work, and it's beyond just a simple wire connection. I think it might be on the board. Some other Centuries here. Oh, Slimmer. That's a cool one. Roundup, Eagle. Fix the locomotion. But yeah, here, let me get around this side so you can kind of see what the games are. Challenger, Eagle, Vanguard, Route 16, Roundup, of course. But so we're probably going to fill this room up. I think I may be, yes, I think I am. I'm going to work on every Century made in the Century style cabinet, of course. But, alright.